Hey, welcome back to thistriniwill. I'm Keisha, and today I'll be sharing with you my experience and my journey thus far starting the pill for PCOS. Now, if you're new, welcome to thistriniwill. If it is not your first time here, if you would have listened to some of my videos or would have seen some of my videos, I would have mentioned the topic of PCOS, irregular periods. So I just thought I would do a full video because it is, I don't know what it is, but it's so, I would say kind of sad that there are so many women suffering from PCOS. If you know what PCOS is, you're only seeing Trini. If you don't know, it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. So basically you have small cysts on your ovaries. Some persons may have it on one, some persons may have it on both. Now, that is not the only symptom of polycystic ovaries. There are numerous symptoms, and not every woman suffers with PCOS the same. You can have a combination of different symptoms even though you have PCOS. So just for this video, I will just share my journey that brought me to this stage today to start taking the pill. My thoughts so far from taking the pill, how it made me feel. Let's get into all of it. Where do I begin? So I think when I first found out that I had PCOS, what made me go for a checkup is that I noticed that I was starting to have irregular periods. So that made me go to an OBGYN to do a checkup, and in part of the checkup, well, they make you do a pregnancy test, and they also did the ultrasound. Now, if it's your first ultrasound, just know it's not a gel that they rub on your stomach and pass the machine on your stomach. No, that is not the first ultrasound that they do. Okay, it's internal. That was a little shock, but yes. So we did an ultrasound, and from that he showed me I saw the screen, and he also did the pictures, but there were little cysts on my ovaries. So he deduced it was polycystic syndrome. And of course, if you have PCOS and you have a little journey, you would know that the thing they tell you, just keep active. You just have to keep active. And when you are ready to have babies, then we can look at the options or whatsoever. But just to be able to manage it, be active, workouts, watch your diet. Like, that's the advice that kind of was given. I think he suggested birth control, but you know, when you hear birth control, you just think of gaining weight and mood swings. Like, even having no experience with it, that is what you hear about birth control. So I don't think that I was interested in taking birth control, so I did not follow up with it. Yes, I did try to be active, but that was not 100. So I just, continue with the irregular periods. And honestly, to me, it was not a problem because I dislike periods with a passion. Yeah, so I just, continued along life. So I think I was about 21, I believe, if I remember correctly. Then, carrying on with life. And my periods began to be a bit more irregular. So before I might miss it for like 1 month, 2 months, that turned into 3 months, 4 months. And again, your girl wasn't fussing because I did not mind not having a period. And of course, over that time, I started to work full time. I started my master's. So life was stressful. And in between, yes, when I'll be like, oh my gosh, Keisha, your weight is overdoing it, I would want to work out, and I would go to work out see some progress, but then life again happens and you gain the weight. And what I would notice is that when I started to work out a bit more regularly, my period would become a little more regular. When I was not active, my period would be irregular. And I would feel the difference in my body when I work out. I would feel a lot better. I also noticed that I would gain weight easily. I just feel like, because I don't eat a lot. Yes, I like to snack a little, but to say I eat a lot, I really don't. And I feel like if I just smelled bread, I would gain 5 pounds the next week. Like, I would eat the same things, and I would, the rate that I would gain weight is like, but I'm not even eating that much. But still, anyway, so the next time I did a checkup to follow up is because I was not having regular periods, and I began like spotting. So I wouldn't have a period, but randomly I would spot, and it's not like a heavy period, but I might spot for like a week, I might spot for like 2 weeks. So then it began to become a little concerning. So my first gynecologist, although I liked him, he moved, and I didn't want to go quite to his new location. So I went to another OBGYN that was highly recommended. And he suggested that I do. So he did the ultrasound and everything. He saw the cysts on my ovaries. I explained to him my symptoms, and again, he related it to PCOS. But because PCOS has other symptoms, such as like insulin resistance and things along those lines, he suggested I go to the clinic and do a range of tests. So I had to do the glucose fasting test, and I really can't remember all, but it was like at least 5 or 6 tests that I did. And he recommended Primolute. So I just have a box of it here. So that is this Primolute, and this is a tablet that is supposed to affect kind of like your period. So it just has, I just think it's like one hormone instead of like 2 hormones. So it's progesterone, and you take it one tablet 3 times a day for 10 days, and then you'll have like a withdrawal bleed. I know some women take it to postpone their period when they don't want to have their period, if they're going on vacation or something like that. They take it. So anyway, because I didn't have my period in such a long time, he had me take it for like a month rather than just 10 days. So I took this. It did bring a period, and he was like, if you don't want to have children, if you're not looking to have children right now, you really don't need a period. So you, like, a healthy body should have a period at least 4 times for the year. So he said, whenever you're just ready for your period, take the Primolute and 3 times a day for 10 days, so you could have like a withdrawal bleed or whatever. So that did work. I did not continue taking the Primolute because, one, at a point in time, it was very difficult to find. I went to like 5 pharmacies before I could actually get it. So I was like, whatever. That is not how you should be, but that's how I was. I was like, whatever. That was that. And then the next time I went for like a checkup is because I was leaving the country, and I didn't know if I would find an OBGYN who speaks English, who I could, verbalize, or they would understand what I was saying, and the symptoms that I was having thus far, and having to explain my whole history again. So I went to another OBGYN, and she was against the Primolute, and she recommended taking birth control. The birth control that she recommended was Yasmin. Yasmin is like a combination pill, so it has both hormones in it. So it has estrogen and progestin. This one is like a 21-day pack, so you take it for 21 days, then you have 7 pill-free days, and that is the period in time in which your cycle, well, your period should come. You should have like a withdrawal bleed. All the pills is basically the same dose. There's no fluctuation in it or anything. I received these pills in like September, and I was supposed to start in October, but I was not sure if I would be able to source the pill in Italy, and I didn't know the process I would have to go through to get it. So I didn't want to start the pack without being able to continue, right? Because the OBGYN suggested that I do a course of like 6 months, see how I react to it, if I want to stick with it, or what do I want to do. To get the pill, you have to get a doctor to give you a prescription, and it's only recently that it kind of became, I would say, kind of legal in Italy, because before, if you wanted it, like, you had to go with your husband to make sure that he consented to you taking it. Like, okay, yeah. So anyway, I got a prescription. So I went to a doctor and I got a prescription for 3 months. So I started the pill like the end of January. So I am currently on my 3rd pack of Yasmin. What do I think about the pill?